Welcome to Black Pearls, Distinguished Women of Color, the channel where we celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of Black women from all walks of life. Today, we are going to talk about Carol Moseley Braun, a Jamaican-American politician who became the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Senate and the first African-American U.S. Senator from the Democratic Party. She also served as the U.S. Ambassador to New Zealand and Samoa and ran for president in 2004. She is currently nominated by President Joe Biden to serve as chair of the United States African Development Foundation. Let's take a look at her life and achievements. Carol Moseley Braun was born on August 16, 1947 in Chicago, Illinois, to Daniel and Annie Bell Moseley, who were sharecroppers on a cotton farm. She was the fifth of 6 children and grew up in a religious and multicultural household. She attended public and parochial schools in Chicago and graduated from Classical High School in Springfield, Massachusetts in 1973. She then attended the University of Illinois at Chicago, where she earned a bachelor's degree in communications in 1969. She later received a law degree from the University of Chicago in 1972. Moseley Braun began her career as a prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office, where she worked for 3 years and received the U.S. Attorney General's Special Achievement Award. In 1978, she was elected to the Illinois House of Representatives, where she served for 10 years and became the first woman and the first African American to be appointed as Assistant Majority Leader. She was also the chief sponsor of several bills on education, housing, civil rights, and health care. In 1988, Moseley Braun was elected as Cook County Recorder of Deeds, where she managed one of the largest public offices in Illinois and introduced reforms to modernize and streamline its operations. In 1992, she made history by becoming the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Senate, defeating incumbent Senator Alan Dixon in the Democratic primary and Republican Richard Williamson in the general election. She served 1 term in the Senate from 1993 to 1999 and was a member of the Judiciary Committee, the Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs Committee, and the Small Business Committee. During her Senate tenure, Moseley Braun championed various issues such as healthcare reform, education funding, environmental protection, women's rights, gun control, and international relations. She also fought against racial discrimination and injustice, such as opposing the renewal of a design patent for the United Daughters of the Confederacy because it contained a Confederate flag symbol. She also supported the creation of a national holiday to honor Martin Luther King Jr. In 1998, Moseley Braun lost her re-election bid to Republican Peter Fitzgerald by a narrow margin. She then served as the U.S. Ambassador to New Zealand and Samoa from 1999 to 2001 under President Bill Clinton. In 2004, she ran for president as a Democratic candidate, but withdrew from the race before the Iowa caucuses due to lack of funds and support. After leaving public office, Moseley Braun remained active in various civic and social causes. She founded Good Food Organics, an organic food company that produces Ambassador Organics, a line of teas, coffees, spices, and syrups. She also taught at Morris Brown College, DePaul University, and Northwestern University. She also wrote an autobiography called Moseley Braun, An Unconventional Life, 2007. In 2010, Moseley Braun announced her candidacy for mayor of Chicago to replace retiring incumbent Richard M. Daley. She placed 4th in a field of 6 candidates, losing to Rahm Emanuel in 2011. In January 2023, she was nominated by President Joe Biden to serve as chair of the United States African Development Foundation, an independent federal agency that supports community-led development projects in Africa. Carol Moseley Braun is a remarkable woman of color who was a former senator and ambassador. She became the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Senate and the first African-American U.S. senator from the Democratic Party. She also served as the U.S. ambassador to New Zealand and Samoa and ran for president in 2004. She is currently nominated by President Joe Biden to serve as chair of the United States African Development Foundation. She is a trailblazer who has defied conventions and stereotypes throughout her career. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to comment below and tell us what you think of Carol Moseley Braun and her achievements. See you next time on Black Pearls, Distinguished Women of Color.